That's this balancing of what's known and what's foreign. Okay, in this particular piece, we have a couple of really interesting ideas that are unique to this piece. One of the things is that it is fast. What's another one of the characteristics of the piece he just played? Put it into words for me. Chromatic. Very good. Where did he take this version from? You think it was originally from the orchestra version? I'll bet you got it from a violin version, right? Because it's that range, right? That's not for a tuba. A couple of things that are important. Who says this piece has melody?
Yeah, I can sing it to you.
Right? Who says it has rhythm? Really? Where's the beat there? If you kick the floor, it's got a rhythm. But then, if just playing it by itself, because there's a whole orchestra that's normally playing this piece, you're going to have to find a way to inject a feeling of beat, because the phrases go across the beat. Da 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 da. Okay. Is there harmony here? No. So how are you going to create harmony? You know the part where it's go dee da 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 da. Play that part, please. Good. Now, you just did an arpeggiation, right? Could you do that in thirds, like an arpeggiation with double stops? Slowly. Now, doesn't that add a whole new dimension? You know why? Because when we talked about rondos, or A, B, A, that is its B section to that piece, right? That's A. So why not change the sound? Add harmonics. Add ornaments. Think bigger than the pieces itself, and then you will make the piece your own. Then it becomes believable, because as long as you're a slave to the written note, you're not doing your audience a service. If you are able to make the notes serve your musical idea, if you have something to say, then you're doing something good for your fellow human beings. Think about what you're doing, and think about whether you're doing it as best as you can, and not just what the notes demand, which is the least. All right, so thank you very much for your time and attention. If any of you have questions, please take advantage of me now. And once again, big thanks to Bradley for playing for us. Joan, how much time do we have left? 5 minutes. Okay, so just a quick idea. It doesn't sound very nice what I'm going to tell you, but it's my truth, okay? When I was studying, when I was your age, I didn't know how to make a living. I wanted to become an orchestral musician. I wanted to be a percussionist. I learned all those cymbals and triangles and drums and all that stuff, but it's a very difficult thing to make a living. But I really didn't love percussion the way I love the marimba. So I asked one of my friends in New York at the Juilliard School. He said every night he used to go out in the corner of 80th and Broadway with his relatively smaller instrument. Every night for 2 hours playing, he had $55. That was a lot of money in 1980. So I took my instrument, I set it up on his corner, and I started playing with my instrument. But I was like most people are, I'm not going to talk to the audience. I'm afraid. Who are these people? I mean, isn't there a wall between the performer and his audience that protects the distance between both of them? You know what I'm talking about? Isn't it our job, if we really want to be a performer, to actively remove that wall? Is there a reason why I wanted you to come to the stage today and not to sit in the seats as the normal body language? Can you understand why it's important maybe to shake things up? Why intimacy inside the music can become more important than whether or not you played every note correctly? If I want to play the best, I want to play for one person who means a lot to me. You can be 80 people, you can be 800. But if I play in a concert hall like this, and I play a beautiful, small sound that's full of intensity, is it going to get into the ears and the hearts of every single one of those 800 listeners the same way that's going to get to you right now close to me? You can feel my feet on the floor. You can see my facial motions. It becomes more human, doesn't it? That's how it's supposed to be. But a lot of us have lost that. If you stay honest to yourself, the ability, the need to communicate with our fellow human beings on the highest level you can, at some level, you're going to be doing humanity a service. And you're going to become a better musician for doing it. Because inside this intimacy is a forced honesty. Honesty. You can't hide. You shouldn't want to either. Because the interaction with the audience is what forces you to sharpen your knives. To be honest with yourself, to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing on this stage anyway? This past year, 2 films were made about me. 2. Don't believe everything you see about me on the web. But it's an important thing that when you get used to removing the fear of other people, by its nature, you remove your own fear. When you invite intimacy, you have to be honest in that way. And so when I'm playing here, and that one person who's listening to me is a camera 1 meter away, ultimately that message is going to go out to 1 million people. It's going to feel like it went out to 1, but it's going out to a lot. Maybe there's something important to that. Maybe it's beyond our control as musicians. But something you'll need to know at some point is it's not what it used to be. It's not as intimate. It's not as deeply human as performance used to be. Sometimes we're going to have to understand. You got to get used to it. You record yourself on your iPhone. You put it up to the web. You invite people to criticize you. You put your videos up to YouTube, your concerts. You start selling your music in iTunes. You're going to have to, go into Facebook when you announce concerts. That's part of the life that we have today. Don't be a traitor to the original musical idea, because it's easy to get diluted. If you don't let that happen to you, stay true to whatever brought you to this musical stage today, you're going to be doing something good for a long time. But you have to understand that the music and the language of the 18th and 19th century, whatever it is where you're coming from, has to be adapted to the language of the 21st century without losing its essence. Find your way. I wish you luck. I know some of you have to go right now because of public transportation, whatever, but for anybody who has a couple of minutes for question and answer, I'm happy to help.
Got CDs here?
Yes, I do have CDs. I didn't want to push that. The CD that I have with Sony, the red guy, that's what most people like. It's a mixture all over the world. Music from the French, and it's African music, it's Jewish music, it's Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart. It's all kinds of things. And it was nominated for the German Grammy. The other stuff is more typical, more classical is one, then there's one that's only Bach. I have to tell you, it's a funny thing. After I got the contract with Bach, I was really happy about it. Then Sony and BMG merged, the guy got canned. He's no longer in the picture. It's a brutal world out there, but the music lives. That's the important thing that I want to do. If you have questions about the music, come to me afterward. Also, I'm happy to help you that way. Yes?